Good morning, grade 7. Mr. Wong's going to assist you in your Humanities 7 course today, so he's just looking in on you. Here's what we need to do today. I want you to be going into Moodle and making sure that you are completing some of the posts where you're going to do your writing around the content that we're studying. So some of that information we're pulling out of those retrieval charts on the Anishinaabe and Mi'kmaq cultures. I want to see now how you're understanding that by expressing yourself in response to a few of the questions that we have up in our Moodle. So I'm going to navigate you through Moodle here and show you a couple of things that certainly need to be done by the end of this week. So when you're coming into Moodle, remember you should have added the MCS Humanities 7 course. And Mr. Wong has the enrollment key if you're not seeing that show up right now. Okay? If you're looking for it, you're going to go to all courses. All right, when you're in Humanities 7, the first place you want to be is on our Welcome tab. Okay? And you're seeing the editorial cartoon there on residential schools and the Introduce Yourself piece. Most of you have done this now, but there's a few of you who have not, and I'd really like you to make sure you do that before you move on. Those of you who have done, I want you to read my reply, and you could reply back to me if you want. And I would like to emphasize that I really like what I'm seeing in terms of writing conventions. This is academic blogging or posting that we're doing, and you need to make sure that your writing is trying to show what you know about writing and conventions. And so that's really great to see that people are starting off that way. Okay, secondly, once you have made that post in there, we are going to move over to the Humanities 7 tab here. Okay, and that's where our little video on the history of Canada is. And you're going to view that one more time or two, and you can get some headphones down near the library if you need to, so that you're not bothering other people while you're watching it. I would also suggest that you review our objectives and some introductory material again. So this is what you're supposed to learn. If you read it, you'll know exactly what we're driving at here as well in this unit. But also there's some other background material in the introduction on some of the things that we're trying to do with those retrieval charts that we're gathering information out of the textbook as a source, for instance. I also want to point out this documents folder. So some of you, if you've lost one of the sheets I've handed out in class, this is where you can download them. So here's the Mi'kmaq organizer, and here's the Anishinaabe organizer I handed out yesterday. So if you lose them, it's your responsibility to print them off and redo them. All right, now the big piece we want to do today is I'm going to show you two questions that is going to show me that you're really understanding some of the things, some of the big ideas we're getting at, right? How these cultures were structured and how they use the natural environment around them. So what I want you to do is go into the Unit 1 questions and discussion forum here, and there's two questions we need to finish by the end of the week. The first is in response to the video. Okay? So it tells a very different story about First Nations culture, for instance, than what we heard from Kat at the Glenbow Museum on our virtual field trip on Monday. So what perspective is this animated movie told? What message are the creators trying to get across to us about European contact and what happens to First Nations, for instance, after that contact? And what parts of the story are accurate, if any? Remember, we're going to come back to this little video as we look at different parts of our course. Things like French exploration and British exploration. But I want you to get started here. So we're going to post in here several times as we move along. Okay, next I want you to look at this question, exploring art and artifacts. Reflect on some of the information that we can gather from examining artifacts of First Nations cultures. Choose primary source artifacts from your text, online, or some of the things we looked at the Glenbow, and then you're just going to hit reply here like you do in the other one, and you're going to write your response in here. Again, I would do like Taya has done and maybe make that post in Word. Okay, so those are the things that are our priorities here this morning. I'd like you to get started. You have the max booked, and go to it. Thank you.